Hello, hello. I am Ben Pick, and thank you for joining me in Running to Write, where I give questionable writing advice through running metaphors. Welcome back. I am on another off-schedule night, so tonight is Tuesday. Last time it was a Saturday. That was the 200th episode. So if you want to hang out and watch some quality podcasting, YouTubing, as I reminisce of the almost 4 years as Writing to Write, check out that video. If not, tonight we are doing some productivity sprints. Yeah, I'm rocking the fleece today. It is cold. I just came back from a walk and my hands are, freezing, so I'm getting some numbing sensations all over these bad boys. It's rough. Yeah, I was snowboarding this weekend, so you think I'd be comfortable and used to freezing temperatures. I am not. I think it said that it was about 36 when I went outside, but I'm pretty certain that was a lie. So let's just check that out because I'm actually curious now. Yeah, still says we're in the low 30s, but all of the ice that I walked by was not melting. So maybe it's just that I started walking when the sun was starting to set. But either way, that's where I am today. Richard, as always, thank you for joining in. Yes, I am quite sore today. I am almost 40, and snowboarding takes a lot out of me, on top of about 10 hours of driving each way from here to Vermont. And of course, lots of bad drivers yesterday. I was coming back. The Bay Bridge was completely closed for a moment. And so you had people doing all kinds of driving on the shoulder, driving in lanes that were not open until the last possible minute, and then they just sort of cut in. Oh boy. And then once the Bay Bridge opened up, yeah, I got to watch a whole bunch of people drive like maniacs. And I saw, from Vermont down to Northern Virginia, I saw quite a few accidents yesterday, a lot of flipped cars. So luckily I'm, not a monster on the road and I can avoid people. Eloise, thank you for being here. I hope you're ready to write. I got in a bunch of, well, not as much writing as I would have liked on those in the car ride, but I did do plenty of reading. I caused 0 of those accidents, although I did watch quite a lot of people do the weaving and the driving on the shoulder. And, while I never saw the truly awful drivers get into accidents or get pulled over, I don't know. I like to think that karma's out there and is treating them as they deserve, as they are making the road worse, less safe for people out there, and they are actively causing backups when they cut people off, force people to slam on their brakes, do all the fun stuff. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that sounds about right. 10 hours is the length of the UK. So, anyways, so I have a new chapter that I'm starting to work on, and I am all but ready to go. Tonight is functionally my Monday since I was out yesterday. And so, yeah, work is work. Clean up after the people is my typical afternoon. And then I show up here. So that's that. I might have to do a judgment call. I'm probably going to only do 2 sprints because I am definitely not up here mentally for the day and my body is kind of resisting. I'll see. I might be able to do another 20-minute sprint just to hang out for a little bit longer. But for right now, let's get started on the first 30-minute sprint as we do here. And so I'm going to go on mute. I'm going to write, and then I am going to come back in 30 minutes. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with do whatever you want to do for the 30 minutes. So this is just come hang out, do whatever you want. If you're in the United States, it's about dinner time, so feel free to cook dinner, feel free to eat, feel free to just hang out, play video games. I don't really care. Whatever you want to do to feel productive, even if that is just take 30 minutes for yourself for mental health, sit on the couch and read. Whatever you need to do to feel productive, that's what we're all here for. I happen to be writing because I want to work on my story, but teach their own. And I will see you on the other side of 30 minutes. And welcome back, everyone. So I did about 379 words. I got distracted. I did a little research, so I'm not the most productive today. But all in all, I think that still is a pretty good start for the first round. I am also going to be uh, following up this 30-minute sprint with a 20-minute sprint where I will continue working on this chapter. Normally, I kind of switch it off, so I'll do 3 rounds. The first round is a chapter in my book. The next round is working on scripts for this upcoming Writing to Write episodes. And then I close things out with more writing for my book. I am going to skip that. I'm sorry, I'm not really feeling it tonight. So I'm only going to do the second sprint, no third, and I'm just going to write for this for the current chapter that I'm working on. And so hopefully I will be able to I don't know, get 600 plus words today because that'll be pretty good. And I'm backing up all my information on Readsy. So give me just 1 minute and then I'll be good to go for sprint number 2. But how did your sprints go? How did everything turn out with you all? I see. Ooh, nice. Richard is at 1,000 words per day, so that is awesome. And so I was trying to come up with a chapter title for this one, but I don't think I have anything. Oh, no, never mind. For some reason, my numbering system is off, though. That's a shame. No, wait. There we go. So, and all right, so I have everything backed up, and time to continue working on chapter 21. All right. Yeah, chapter titles are evil, certainly, but they're also a fun chance to sort of share and explain things or hint at what's to come. So I don't know. I think it as a fun mental challenge, and I have thus far 20 different chapter titles. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'll give a spoiler. The first chapter title is United, and I keep thinking that I keep looking at it really quickly and reading Untitled, which I take to mean that I didn't actually write anything there, and so I need to think about like what to do. But I, in fact, do have something, and it's United. So there's no typo there. I already have a chapter planned out, chapter name planned out. I do have one chapter title that's up in the air. I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between two different things, but I am currently in chapter 21, where fun things are happening. Hmm. Yeah, table contents are fun. It's Eva, thank you for joining in. Yeah, it's no, I'm not going to let my newsletter decide because I'm 4 books deep into my series, and the first 3 have had chapter titles, so I'm not going to just switch over to numbers now. Maybe in a future book I will shift over, but well, also the book that I'm currently reading, it's a Raymond Feist one, and it's a pretty thick book, but they all have chapter titles too. And fun Doctor Who reference back with Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor was really fun, where it was the episode where, well, I don't know, it might have been the episode either, or series of episodes, but it was the one where they send off the arguably one of the best modern companions. I know a lot of people are fans of Rose. I really like what they did with Amelia Pond. And so this was her send off, and she's reading a book, which, because it's Doctor Who, it is very paradoxical and time loopy infused. But Matt Smith, the Doctor, gets very annoyed because he reads the chapter titles, and that says exactly what's going to happen in the episode. So I kind of, that sort of sticks with me. That sort of sticks with me. Well, it makes sense. I mean, if your options are to visit your friends by going to New Jersey, I mean, we can just sort of skip around, and then not actually go there, or better yet, I don't know where I'm going with that. There's a joke there somewhere, but the 11th Doctor would rather never see his friends again than to go to New Jersey. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, but for what it's worth, New Jersey is lovely. No, so Amy and Rory end up in New Jersey. They're stranded there back in time, and so the Doctor could go visit them because he has a time machine, but because they're in New Jersey, he obviously decides not to. So there is the option of going back there. I know. I just make fun of you a lot. I'm sorry. Come on, you make fun of Marilyn plenty too. Hey, those burger cookies are fantastic. It is like a sugar cookie and a brownie just merged together, and they are amazing. Ooh. Yes, I guess you all might be a little bit earlier than us in terms of taxes. Ours are April 15th, and basically over the next we still have 2 weeks before we get most of it. I've already put my W-2s into I've already done the basics, but I'm missing a lot of information at the moment, and I'm probably not going to get it until the first week in March. Because Texas. They are not mid. They are fantastic cookies. They're delicious. They are a perfect mix of sugar and just like chewiness. They are perfect. Burger cookies. Let me. I probably can't do this, but burger cookies. Let's see what comes up from that. Yeah, sure. I can do this. Burger cookies, where I show off that I am, in fact, born and raised in Maryland. They're fantastic. Cannot rate them high enough. But yeah, the American tax system is rough. It's it's overly complicated for what we need, and I don't enter any information that's I don't add any extra information from there. So my taxes are simple yet complicated, but all it is just compiling a whole bunch of different forms together into a single form, which our government also receives. So in theory, it seems like we should be able to cut out, you know, me going through TurboTax to enter in all that information, but whatever. Yeah, yeah, we'll see. I keep trying to set it so that I have a little buffer and I actually get taxes back. I haven't gotten that back in a while. For some reason, I always mess it up. And I mean, I'm not going to take away like extra. I tried that one year where I tried to save extra money for my taxes. And yes, I did get back like a little bit at that time, but it was dumb to do it that way. So I kind of scale it back to try and be in like a specific bracket. And it's a whole bunch of mess. Yeah, I know. It's especially with computer, especially with how automated so many things are. It seems like it could just be funneled through very, very easily, but yeah. Oh well. But that's enough about the IRS and filling our taxes in the States. I am going to, yeah, my taxes always get taken out of my pay, but because what is it? I try to be in like the highest tax bracket, which is single filer. But I was married and like, or no, it's complicated. I tried to save more. I tried to pay the right amount, get it taken out of my taxes. So essentially, I would owe $0 in now April. But one of the years I screwed it up, and so or no, that's what happened. I think I got married, and then I changed myself to being like married, like my wife and I to be married on our taxes, and or that was the rate that I paid, but it didn't line up with what I needed. So I moved myself into the highest tax bracket so that my taxes are automatically removed from my paycheck, which means that I'm like in the single bracket for my pay period for what I take out my payment. But I'm still obviously listed as married on my tax forms. So whatever. It's a whole mess. Um, No, it's not. I think I got married. It's I think I put myself down as married on my work form, which means that it didn't take out enough taxes. So I owed taxes when I filed together one year, whatever. So now I just on my work forms, I just move myself up to be. I'm still registered as married on all my work forms, but in terms of taxes, I'm in like the single bracket because that way it takes out more. I don't know. I think that's right. Yeah, but one year I screwed it up and we ended up owing like $2,000 in taxes because I was in like the lower bracket when I should have been in the upper one. I don't remember. Yeah, see, when employers do the deduction, they always mess it up basically. Yes, that is what I've come to learn. Taxes less out when you mark yourself as married filing jointly unless you specifically has to be treated as signal. That's what I think I did to fix it. And then I think I overcompensated one year, so it like in addition to being treated as single, it also took out more in taxes, which means I don't know. It basically took me like three failed attempts to get things to where they are now, where I think I'll owe basically $0 in taxes because I've already paid it off across the year. But anyways, I have been stalling for long enough. Let's get started back on the 20-minute um, productivity sprint. Where I'm going to get back to writing in my actual book. And not talking about not giving bad tax advice. Yes, also that's a reminder. None of what I say should be considered as actual advice for paying taxes. These are just some of the dumb things I've done while paying taxes and working in America. Um, Aw, thank you, Eloise. That's very sweet. See, we could honestly just bring you down here and have you talk while I write, and you can talk all about your ideas for writing because that would be fun. Mm. Feel like you have a lot of fun with the title for that, and all kinds of weird things about like tax innuendos. I don't know. You're the you can be the romance writer. I'm not really there. Well, yes, I definitely do look forward to reading about some tax evading witches, but also Eloise, that was Eva, not Richard, although Richard is also just as bad. We've all been hanging out for each other for too long. No, I know, I know. I'm not acting like this is news. I'm acting like this is the first time you're telling everyone else. I remember the story that you were thinking about writing. Okay, Richard. No. Anyways, you will have fun thinking about innuendos for the tax season and making bringing sexy back for taxes. I am going to sit around and write for 20 minutes and then I'm just going to call it for a night. But thank you everyone for making me smile and laugh because that's what we really need during the frigid months. I don't know why, but for some reason it feels much colder than 35 out there. I feel like it should be, in the 20s. I feel like it's in the 20s right now. It's not. I checked again. We're talking mid 30s. I don't know. But anyways, I will see you all in 20 minutes and then we can somehow bring this in for a landing afterwards. So, see ya. All right. So I finished out with 711 words. That seems good enough for me. And yeah, oh boy, there was a lot here. Let's just say that if you are in some interesting fields of work, you may or may not have some advice for how to handle your taxes. I don't know. Again, this is all terrible advice. I mean, well, I would not recommend following any of the advice here. Let me think. The one time, so Eva, I did bring this up because I wanted to talk about it. The more money you make, the less you pay because you have the money to find the deductions. When I was first starting off work, I actually like the first time I had never done taxes before, and so I kind of went through the process. And I went to, I guess, H&R Block or somebody there, and yeah, it was a really just bad experience. So I'd already done my taxes. I'd already figured out how much I owe, but I wanted to have somebody check my math. So I went in there. I paid like for the super premium thing, and they weren't able to do anything. And in fact, it was worse than that because all I did was run me through their like step by step tool. And so it basically was the exact same experience I had when going through TurboTax, where it's here's the forms, here's your W-2s. Do you have any of these deductions? Do you have any of these things? And so yeah, unfortunately, the more money I make since then, the more I have had to pay because I am unable to find the deductions, or the person I hired to find me deductions did not do a good enough job. And so I just decided to sort of go on it alone from here. So that is more tax stuff. And I've been doing it ever since then. So I don't know. But yeah, I am really excited if you, Adriana, if you ever do work on this story. Okay, you only pay taxes on realized gains. So if you keep your money in the stock market and simply borrow against, you can increase your wealth and pay no income tax. Yes. That's the billionaire method. And I do kind of wish that loophole were closed, but whatever. Gotcha. I don't know. It might have been just an issue that I didn't have any assets. So basically all I had was my W-2s, and it should have been, well, W-2s and like a couple of stocks. And so it should have been simple, but because of those stocks, it made it extra complicated. Because of the stocks, it made it a little bit more complicated, and so I had to pay like the super premium thing, and I wasn't able to find any deduction, so I just decided to go it alone from here. Hmm. Um, what stocks do I own? So I've had these since I was a kid. Now let's think. There's Disney, there's Cisco, and there's Microsoft, and I think all of them were like bought as they were kind of like rising up. So I don't have, first of all, I think I only have like 5 stocks in each of them, and so they're not worth that much. But they were also bought basically like on when they were on the up and up. So I think they've like doubled in price, but that's about it. So cool. So the stocks I have are I mean, they're worth something. They're not worth nothing, but you know, with Microsoft, it would have been awesome if it were like a year earlier or even like 5 years earlier. And the same thing with Disney. Like if I had Disney stock in from the 80s, which was before I was born, I would be set for life at this point. So I don't know. Really, the best way of owning a house is to own a house, 30 years ago, or the best investment to make would have been done 50 years ago. But yeah, that's everything. But I have stalled enough. I've written enough, And I'm going to go relax for a little bit before dinner time. So thank you, everyone, for being here, for hanging out. We bought in 2018, can never sell. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. Um, so I had a neighbor who had graduated in 2020 and then bought his home after the bubble burst. So he was able to just, he was a very intelligent guy and he was able to do the down payment and do all the fun stuff. But he purchased his house after the bubble burst, so he was able to get dirt cheap. And I think he sold this house in like, I don't know, maybe my math is off on that, but I feel yeah, my math might be off on that. Either way, he bought his house like just after the bubble had burst, so it might have been 2009. He might have bought his house in 2009 and then he sold it like 10 years later and it had doubled in price. That might have been what it was. Well, you don't need to give all of his personal information. Yeah. So he bought the house in 2009. I'm sorry, I saw 2018 there and I just kind of skipped ahead to 2020. So he bought his house in 2009 and then I guess he sold it within 10 years. That sounds about right. And he had doubled up on the price of his house, which is just absurd. My house, I think we bought in like 2018. Our house is worth more than we bought it, but yeah, I didn't say his name. I know, but I try to keep things like generic enough that they could apply to anybody. Sorry, we bought in 2017. Fair enough. I'm just guesstimating here off the top of my head. I don't know how old I am. My wife always makes fun of me for that one because I'm off by one frequently. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, bad news about that. All of our social security, all of our private information is about to be public very, very shortly. So I think that we are one significant compromise away from having all of our data be out there. Fair enough. Yeah, so I did it backwards. We got roofers in 2018. We bought in 2017. I reversed them in my mind. Anyways, thank you, everyone. You all have made tonight so much more enjoyable. And I will see you all next week back on regular time at Monday, 6 p.m. So, oh boy. I guess apparently next week's topic will be all about credit cards and how to secure your finances. I don't know. With that in mind, I will see you all later and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Take care. And until next time, keep on writing. There we go. Have a wonderful night. Lies, I hit the wrong button. I just left the stream. I didn't actually end the stream. So I'll see you all later. Let's try this again. Until next time, keep writing, do your things, and I'll see you next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. There we go.